Mauritania is a country where the Sahara Desert dominates not only the landscape, but also the lives of its people. This vast ocean of sand stretches as far as the eye can see, creating a golden and timeless scene. In this remote corner of the world, an ancient tradition defies modern norms. Markets for divorced women looking for new husbands. While it's known for its arid landscapes and rich cultural heritage, Mauritania also stands out for the resilience and autonomy of its women. In these markets, divorced women aren't looked down upon. Instead, they take on a central role in society, facing life with determination and dignity. Here, divorce isn't an end, but a new beginning, an opportunity to start over. This documentary film takes us into an enchanting and unexplored world, woven from personal narratives and traditional heritage. Who are these remarkable women? What challenges do they face and what dreams sustain them? We travel from the bustling streets of Nouakchott to isolated villages in the interior, following these women as they fight for their future in vibrant markets where reality meets hope. The journey in search of a new partner reveals itself not only as a financial necessity, but as a strong element of personal reaffirmation and social acceptance. Through intimate conversations and candid everyday moments, we observe how they defy conventions and forge new destinies for themselves and their families. Get ready to be taken by a narrative that showcases the most surprising and emotional aspects of Mauritania, a country whose desert holds stories eager to be discovered. Between tradition and renewal, we invite you to explore a revealing view of Mauritanian life, where courage and hope flourish even in the most unlikely places. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications and stay updated with all our content. Now let's embark on this journey. Exploring Mauritania, this vast African country covers an area of 1 million square kilometers, mostly dominated by expansive and arid deserts. This desert landscape is the country's hallmark. Though not densely populated, the Mauritanian community has remarkably adapted to the harsh climate, facing sandstorms and the constant struggle for water. Mauritania is also partially located in the disputed Western Sahara, which was under Spanish rule until 1975. After Spain left, Mauritania and Morocco fought over the territory. Today, Mauritania borders Senegal and Mali to the south, the North Atlantic Ocean to the west, and Algeria to the north. This geographic arrangement gives the country a unique feature. It is one of the few desert countries with an ocean coastline, a trait it shares only with Namibia in southern Africa. Since gaining independence from France in 1960, Mauritania has navigated its identity by balancing modernity with tradition. French, a vestige of colonialism, is still fluently spoken, coexisting with Arabic, the nation's official language. Islam, the predominant religion, is the backbone of Mauritanian culture, influencing social and spiritual life. Within Mauritania's borders, the Berbers stand out as a major ethnic group, continuing a nomadic lifestyle through generations. Their ancestral presence reinforces the country's cultural diversity as they continue to speak their original language and live by age-old customs. Economically, Mauritania faces challenges due to its predominantly dry land, making agriculture difficult. However, livestock farming has proven essential, sustaining the economy and the diet of the inhabitants with meat and other animal products. Additionally, subsistence farming focuses on dates and peanuts, which not only survive but thrive in the country's tough conditions. Fishing is an economic pillar in coastal communities in Africa, especially crucial in Mauritania. Besides being a primary food source, it provides jobs and sustains the local economy. Couscous, an iconic dish in the region, reflects Mauritania's culinary and cultural connection with its neighbors, Algeria and Morocco. Often served with generous portions of meat, couscous is more than just a meal. It's an expression of traditions that have united these people for centuries. Despite its cultural richness and natural resources, Mauritania faces severe challenges. With a life expectancy of just 46 years, the country struggles with public health issues, poor infrastructure, and ineffective governance. These challenges create significant barriers to development and well-being for Mauritanians, highlighting a stark contrast to the nation's cultural wealth. Tourism in Mauritania faces significant barriers, including safety issues and an underdeveloped infrastructure, making many tourists hesitant to consider it as a destination. Those who do visit the country encounter a largely young society, with an average age below 20, and a culture deeply rooted in Arab customs that deserve respect and understanding. In a predominantly Sunni territory, it's culturally appropriate to avoid using the left hand to pass objects or eat and to dress modestly, covering legs and arms, to avoid offending the locals. The issue of drinking water is critical, with recommendations for tourists to be cautious about consuming it due to potential contaminants. Local hospitality often manifests in the offering of Arab tea, a ritual repeated several times a day that mirrors similar customs found in Morocco and Algeria. This tea is exceptionally strong, comparable to an espresso in intensity. Nouakchott, the capital of Mauritania, is located on the west coast, right by the Atlantic. The city stands out for its low altitude and being relatively new, without the historical weight of older cities in the region. The infrastructure is still basic, with many dirt roads kicking up dust at the slightest movement of vehicles. It's not uncommon to see animal-drawn carts on the streets, highlighting the pace of development and the adaptations to local conditions. Mauritanian culture and economy are even reflected in its currency. The 1,000 Ouguiya note features a camel and the Quran, symbolizing the importance of traditional transportation and the strong religious influence in the country's life. Mauritania follows Islamic principles and is not a secular state. Economically, the conversion rate is such that $1 is worth about 40 Ouguiyas, reflecting the value of the local currency compared to the dollar. Compared to other developed nations, the Mauritanian currency doesn't face sharp devaluation against the US dollar. This situation is similar to the Maldives, where the local currency also remains stable against the American dollar. It's important to highlight the influence of Islam on the entire Mauritanian population, deeply reflecting in the country's culture and way of life. Economically, Mauritania stands out in the international market with its exports of iron, copper, and fish products, which are transported from the interior to the world via trains. Notably, these trains are also used by people motivated by the desire to explore new opportunities or live out adventures, embarking illegally, highlighting an intriguing aspect of mobility and migration in the region. Mauritania is on the brink of an economic breakthrough with the discovery of huge natural gas reserves, as announced by BP. These reserves are estimated to reach 1.4 trillion, with commercial extraction set to begin in 2025. This development promises to be a game-changer for the country's economic growth. On the cultural side, Mauritania offers a rich tapestry of traditions and social practices. Among them is a unique market where divorced women look for new partners, highlighting the tough economic situation these women often face without financial support after divorce. Additionally, there's a cultural appreciation for obesity in women, seen as a symbol of beauty, which reveals the intricate cultural norms related to beauty and gender. In the heart of Mauritania, mining defines the daily lives of many. With a land rich in valuable minerals, locals delve into underground tunnels hoping to discover gold. This work, full of risks and demands, relies heavily on teamwork and basic equipment like ropes and pulleys. The miners, well aware of the dangers of their profession, face these challenges daily with determination. Just a short 2-hour trip from the capital, a majestic coastal city rises, almost picturesque, with its shoreline adorned by numerous fishing boats. Known as an oasis amid the scorching desert, this city is home to inhabitants who endure the intense daily heat that can burn the skin. Deep within this harsh terrain, the gold mines not only shape the landscape, but also provide a livelihood for the community, inspiring miners to continue their struggle for a more prosperous life. In Chami, hundreds of mines and tunnels stretch from underground to the surface, forming a labyrinth that challenges even the bravest souls. Those who dare to venture into this dark territory dive into a world where time seems to stand still. Armed with only ropes, they explore the depths, spending hours or even days underground, sleeping in tight corners with little air. Despite the extreme conditions, they never give up on the relentless quest for gold. The human effort in this journey is monumental, a true battle against the forces of nature. Many have lost their lives in this endeavor, but those who persist are driven by the hope that the treasure they find will be worth the risks they face. The gold they extract, often traded under less than fair conditions, is sold at low prices to the state, or sometimes illegally traded on the black market. But it's not just in the mines where we find stories that capture the imagination. In Dalikau, a small village, an extraordinary visual phenomenon occurs. Generation after generation, residents are born with various visual impairments, including complete blindness, with no clear scientific answers. The locals see this as a divine sign and accept these conditions with a resignation that becomes an essential part of Mauritania's cultural and spiritual identity. This isolated and enigmatic country is a place where unique stories of life and perseverance mix with nature and the divine, creating a rich tapestry that awaits discovery by adventurous travelers. With that, we come to the end of our presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel for more adventures like this. See you next time.